guard dogs were ninja's worst enemy, next to women. And I'll explain that back in a few minutes. I'm really not sexist. They would start false information. They would start telling other people about, gee, how many people are going to come and kill them, and they're all trained in this really funny thing, and they behead you, and they do these gross things, and you'll never see them, and then they'll start saying, oh, we heard that there was a whole bunch of army moving in over here. And then somebody else, one of the other ninjas working in the group will say, yeah, but I heard there was a whole other group over here. Well, now the generals are going, Jesus Christ, we're surrounded. They would start sending out forces to find them. Well, each force that they send out doesn't come back, or at least isn't a force that can be rallied against the main force. The ninjas would create diversions during a major battle, set fires, open gates, swear that there's, start running like hell out of a certain area, swear that it's a breakthrough. And the commander would move forces off walls, move them into those areas, and be nothing there. So they would constantly create a diversion. They'd open gates if they could. They would start a fire, or there would be a main body attack at a certain gate. The ninjas would get to the other gate and open that gate up, thus letting the bodies in. How many of you saw Shogun? Quite a few. In Shogun, who opened the gates? Yes, it was an inside job. It was an inside job, but the ninjas did come in and attempt to kill Anjin Sane actually after a miracle. He got hurt. So there was a case where you could see that an inside plan job, and they were in before anybody knew it. Pretty significant force. They were after their target committed. There was a samurai general who was very, very famous. He killed 22 ninjas were assigned to kill that man. 22 failed. 22 died at the hands of his blade. The 23rd that was assigned to him by his jonin. Jonin is the word for high man. You never know who he is. He gets assigned to the stupid task. Anyway, he got assigned to kill this general. And he thought, 22 people dead before him. It's got to be really unique. It's got to be something clever to do, and this guy's really unusual. Well, what he did was, he climbed into the general's house, and he climbed up to the attic. He stayed in the attic for 3 days and 3 nights. He drilled a very fine hole in the ceiling over the general's bed. During this time, he watched the general sleep. Ninjas are trained to understand the sleep periods that people are in, and when they're faking sleeping. You can understand the reason for that. If they were to move in on guards or guard places where there were people sleeping, you'd want to know when they were asleep and when they were asleep. He watched this general sleep for 3 nights. And he realized what certain periods he was in. Middle of the night, the general would jump up, grab his sword, look around for the Sukana, looking for the demons that are there to kill him. He had a routine. Get up in the middle of the night. Guy had dogs in the house and everything. And finally, the 4th night, the ninja lowered a hair rope, on a rope made out of hair from his wife, right over the general, and had poison, drop for drop, down the rope, poison the general. There was a certain time when the general slept with his mouth open. Many times, we both of us snore at certain times of the night. He got it, killed it. So, and he got back out. And that was one of the ingenious ways that he didn't know what he was going to have to do, but he thought about it. He improvised a way to get it. Another one that I mentioned the pit toilet. There was another general who almost exclusively used the pit toilet. And there was a ninja. There were several ninjas assigned to kill him. Never made it. This ninja climbed into the pit toilet. Stayed there for days. Finally, the general came and used the pit toilet. He took a sword right up to the always unexpected. Constantly. If ninjas were caught, ninjas were used, or supposed to use their own weapons to cut their face so they cannot be recognized and they kill themselves. Because the samurai, when they used to catch a ninja, the deaths were just gruesome, just horrendous. One of the ways that they used to kill the ninja at the very beginning was they created a bamboo raft, essentially, a seat. And you sat down on the seat, or they hung you, with your hands up and your feet out. And they hung you on leather straps. The leather starts to stretch when it gets wet. And they put a stake right at your rear end. It takes 4 days to lower you on that stake. And the first day, the ninja is trying to move away from it, but he cannot. And each morning, the dew comes down. And each morning, the rope slips a little further. So, the clan started to say, same thing we said in Vietnam and Cambodia. You Your special forces come and you get captured, tell them everything you know, or kill yourself. One or the other. And it was one of those things where you know it's going to come out sooner or later, no matter how strong you are. They're going to get what they want out of you. So the ninjas just made it a total practice to mutilate their face so they could not be identified in a village or something like that. They could take a ninja and say, you recognize this ninja? Yeah, he lives in this village. And they'd go in and they'd try to find all the ninja operating in that village. So they would try to mutilate their faces so they couldn't kill themselves. And that's why the ninjas were already dead. All right, we have certain clans. Clans specialized in certain different things. And like I said, clans started to grow. Some clans use a method called Kopajitsu, which is bone manipulation techniques. They would learn to break or manipulate the bones of their adversaries in rapid fashion. And it all started from them when they would get captured and they didn't have a chance to kill themselves, for instance. Their clan members would dislocate their fingers and be able to slip out of ropes. So they learned a lot of joint manipulation from just that. And they said, well, if we can use it for this, we ought to be able to use it to do this, this, or this. And there depends on who you read, but a lot of people feel that jiu-jitsu, all the different techniques coming out of jiu-jitsu were actually in ninjutsu at one time. Or the ninjas were actually teaching this under a flag name of judo or jiu-jitsu. But Kopajitsu, definitely, there was very much the same as jiu-jitsu, bone manipulation techniques. Some of the clans specialized in arsenals. They would come in and burn things down very easily. You know, bridges, or would help the enemy come across, gates, stuff like that. They specialized in materials that would burn rapidly, that would be carried in. From that point, there were people who would, in that clan, be able to use fire to get away. And I don't know if you all saw the Ninja movie that was on just this last week on Channel 7. There were a lot of flames and flashing and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of techniques came from the chemistry behind the arts, arsenal. Another thing that they used to do is sabotage. During operations, they would sabotage a whole bunch of stuff. They would send mines. They would send explosives to go off. They would go in and blow up guard dog huts, for instance, or blow up quarters, and create all kinds of havoc that way. There were clans that just specialized in how to blow people up. There were assassin clans. Our clan, the Togakureiru clan. Most of our techniques are assassin type techniques. You can see how brutal that they are. We have learned a lot of Kopajitsu, which is the bone manipulation techniques, etc. But a lot of ours were after a certain target, to go get a certain target, to go do a particular thing. You'll see the orientation completely. Others were kidnapped clans. You can imagine what importance there is to kidnapping a shogun's family, or a shogun himself, or a key general that happens to know particular things. The ways that we would kidnap was using anesthetizing powder, okay, or water. There were a lot of different ways of doing this, and that what it would do, it would render the person completely helpless. Completely helpless. He could still breathe, he'd close his eyes, couldn't do anything else. And you could carry them off. You wouldn't want to bludgeon them to death. Okay. So, right now we're going to have a kidnap. We're called ninja. Boom. Okay. She's anesthetized. She's up and gone. Okay. All right. Now, what happened? He was anesthetized. At the same time, you also had ninjas surrounding you on the wall.
These are unarmed techniques, where the ninja doesn't have any arms with him, and he just has to use his own special punches and throws and stuff like that. So right now we'll have Chris and Peter show you some taijutsu techniques. In the first one, we show how the ninja can use his whole body. In this case, Peter on your left is going to be playing the ninja, and the samurai will be on the right. And he'll use his entire body. He'll jump up on the person, kick him down, kick him a couple of times to the chest, kick him to the groin, roll up, and ready to take off. They also had several different techniques which named after the 5 elements. This one's called a wind attack. And he comes in, grabs the throat, takes down, rolls away, and you can see how quickly he can get away with that roll. The ninjas use that roll a lot. They can roll forward, backwards, to the sides, all different directions. And this one, the ninja's caught by surprise and the guy is choking him. He just slaps him on the ears, and you can actually burst the person's eardrums, give them a concussion. If you do that just right. Obviously, he's not going to do that to his friend. And this, also the ninjas use their feet a lot. Here he kicks the guy down, punches him in the throat after he's down. You never assume the guy's down. That's the end of those skits. There's some more taijutsu skits, which are done by Craig and Pat here. The first one, Craig on the on your left is going to be doing. He's going to be showing you where he gets down under his opponent, gets down really low. As the opponent comes in and does the strike, get down low, hits the arm, pushes up on the opponent. And you notice how he hit underneath the arm as the guy came in. There's a bunch of nerve points that they can hit. There's just like getting a funny bone, you can temporarily paralyze that arm. This one's a fire technique. The next one's a fire technique. Watch this again. As the punch comes in, he'll attack the weapon, hit him in the chest, pinch the left nerve, pinch the left leg, pinch the left leg, and then pull on the right leg, take him down. And again, going for those pressure points. This last one shows a special punch the ninjas use, called a shudo punch. And you watch, you always attack the weapon, you shudo punch to the chest, the leg to take down, and another roll to escape. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the weapons. This first set will be with some sword technique. And we'll simulate a samurai attacking a ninja with Dave and Alan. Okay. Here you have the samurai on your right is going to be attacking the ninja. He goes in for the strike. And watch quickly, because he blocks it, slice the throat with his stab. In the second technique, you're going to have switch rolls. And again, the samurai will be on your right, but they're going to switch rolls here. Watch closely. The block, slice, and then stab. Thank you. And that's where they use real swords as they were called for. Now we're going to show some disarm techniques. And some of these are fairly modern, but we'll start off with a bunch of knife disarm techniques where Alan and Chris will be doing, and he'll be showing what happens when the ninja gets caught without a weapon, and because the attacker does have a weapon. This is going to be an overhead stab to start off with. The opponent's coming in on your right, and he blocks it, hits the throat, does a takedown, hits him in the throat again. Disarms his opponent, he's got the knife now. The guy's not going to come back at him now. Another overhead stab technique. Again, watch, you always hit the weapon first. Then he does an arm lock, kicks him in the chest, does another reaping takedown, hits him in the throat, disarms him, and is ready to go again. And this next one is a defense against the jab. The attacker will come straight in with a jab, it grabs the arm, does a quick takedown, and break his arm if you wanted to. Does a slice the groin, slice the kidneys, and off he goes. And this next one, the attacker comes in and slashes at the opponent. That wasn't planned. So, here he goes, slashes by, attacks the arm, another takedown like that, controls the wrist, stabs the kidneys and groin again, and off he goes. And this one, This next one, the ninja's been very lax and gets caught with a knife in his back by the attacker. He's being led away, and here, surprise is very important. Watch as he quickly controls the weapon. The sweeping throat punch, disarm, and ready to go. Never keeps his eye off, takes his eye off the opponent. You notice they're not using mats either here. The last knife disarm technique is where the attacker has a knife at the throat of the ninja. And watch as he, I can't see too well here, he controls the weapon, always uses the opponent's weight, throat punch, again, controlling the weapon, slices the brachial artery, and off he goes. Cross, pistol. Okay, you got it. This next one, obviously, is more modern, and we've had to make, they've had to make these up in the last couple hundred years. This is where the ninja gets confronted by an opponent with a firearm up close. It's just wooden. Now notice always controlling the fire, keeps it pointed at the opponent. Breaks the arm, breaks the wrist, and now he's got the weapon. And the next one, the opponent has a shotgun. And again, makes a mistake of getting up too close to the ninja. Where the ninja has the element of surprise. Happens too fast to see. But obviously, they stepped clear of the weapon, immobilized the front hand with a punch, and took the gun away from his opponent and struck him, knocked him down, and there was a jab to the kidneys with the barrel. Thank you very much. Next sequence event will use Peter and his daughter Jenny, showing how even a child can learn some of these anti-kidnapping techniques.
The thing with ninjutsu is you always have to learn to use something that's strength about you. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of strength to her. So we use angles. She can attack me with certain angles and with her body weight. Also, she's been at this for about a year, off and on. We haven't trained but once today, so we'll see what happens, all right? She actually dumped a policeman using this technique. He didn't believe it could be done. It was done. All right?
Okay, so here, watch as she approaches. Grabs his fingers, bends his fingers around. Jumps on the shelf. Puts her feet on his chest, pushes him away. And then she can run away if she wants, after she pushes him away. This next technique, the opponent comes up and grabs her, and she kicks at his shins until he lets go. Then she can run away again. Okay, here, somebody comes up and grabs her, and she's going to start taking her away. She bonks him on the back of the hand. She's going to bonk him in the back of the hand so she can run away again. Believe me, that hurts. You right with the knuckles, right on the back of the hand. It'll make you let go, I guarantee you. This next one, the opponent, attacker comes up and grabs her and can start carrying her away.
This is the kind of thing that you want to think about when your children get snapped out of parks or playgrounds.
Why did they yell about me?
She's my daughter.
So grabs her, starts kicking in the groin, and drops her.
Thank you.
I wouldn't want to attack that little girl myself. Okay, this next set, the weapon is a hanbo, with the ninja on your left is walking through the woods in disguise, and he gets attacked by this young samurai here. So he hits him to the chest, his armbar to the ground. Then there's a head strike, and he can exit. All these are slowed down greatly, so I can announce it, and so you can see it. In this next one, watch as he gets attacked, and he hits him to the wrist, hits him to the head again, gets behind his opponent, crushes his chest, throws him to the ground with a controlling the legs with the on bow, bends them back, and he's ready to go again. And this next one, as the attacker comes in, he conceals the fact that he has his stick. And so he can attack the knife, hit him on the, paralyze the arm, under the arm bar to the ground, hit him with the groin to the head, and off he goes. Thank you. Don't ask him to do that when you're